Hello, hello, hello. Quick little general poll. As always, this is a collective, so take what resonates and leave what does not. If you'd like a personal reading, please schedule that below. I have all the information down there. But this is going to be just a quick general because I haven't used these oracles in a minute, and I've been meaning to use them, and I keep forgetting. So we're going to start this out with an oracle, see what it is that you need to know, and then go in with the tarot cards to really solidify the information. And as always, if you want to pull cards for yourself, please do drop them below in the comments. I want to see what you get and what your interpretations are. And if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to drop them below or message me on any of my socials on my website, and I'll get back to you. With that being said, 6, play. Not to spoil anything for the July reading, but 6, an associating number, and play, in terms of the 6 of Swords, is a huge association to play a little bit more. Life is only as serious as you make it out to be, because the things that you don't give power to are never going to have power over you, and how you give power to things is by paying attention to them. So the more that you pay attention to your responsibilities, to your financial troubles, to your relationship troubles, to your work troubles, to your health, the more it's going to become prominent, and the more it's going to become an issue potentially if you are pessimistic about all of those things, because if you look for problems, you are always going to find them. On a psychological level, it's because our brains like being right. They need to be right for the sake of survival. So if you constantly tell your brain that I'm having problems at work, my boss hates me, I'm going to get fired, you're going to manifest it because your brain is going to go out of its way to, one, show you evidence, all based on your perspective, because it might not be true evidence, it might just be what your brain perceives, and take that evidence to try to sabotage you, to prove to you that you are right, that you are going to get fired, that your relationship is doomed, that your health is bad. But with that being said, that was a really wild tangent to say that you need to play more. You need to stop taking life so seriously, because what were we meant to do here in this world? We were meant to breathe, we were meant to eat, we were meant to sleep, and we were meant to bring no harm to ourselves or others for the sake of survival. Other than that, everything else is an option. And we have the 5 of Wands falling out, which is a fear of competition with play coming in here. That the more that you focus on play instead of focusing on competing, or instead of being afraid of conflict because you don't perceive conflicts as being growth, but you perceive conflicts as something to avoid because you might not succeed, you need to treat it as play. Be happy that you're participating, because through that participation, when you stop putting so much pressure on yourself to constantly win, to constantly make more money, to blah, blah, blah. Also stop treating everything as a competition, even if it is. You're going to end up on top, because you're going to have less pressure, and therefore your brain, your body, your mind, your heart, and soul are going to feel relaxed enough to do their best. Because the more pressure that you put on yourself, the more that you tense up in every single aspect of your body, and the less you are able to really reach your fullest potential. Our anxious brains, because of fear of failure, really stop us from reaching our highest potential. So if you are so afraid of competition, treat it as play instead of treating it as competition. That is very important for you. Queen of Swords is also falling out, which I actually really love. Because in this case, the Queen of Swords is really about being really cutthroat about what it is that you deserve, and being cutthroat about your boundaries. But also that means being cutthroat about knowing what you deserve, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that through anything that you do, if you stop taking life so seriously and you merely put yourself on top, knowing that you are the fucking best because you are going to succeed. And that's where play comes in. Protecting your boundaries in terms of protecting your ability to play, protecting yourself through this competition and through all the conflicts that might potentially come up for you, because that is life. Life is going to come with challenges, whether they be with other people, with the 5 of Wands, as the 5 of Wands implies, or they be with your health, or with your own self and your mind, because the Queen of Swords is related to mind with the swords popping up, because it's all about the way that you think about yourself. So actually, I'm going to say this: go easier on yourself. Not everything needs to be cutthroat, even if you are going to be able to protect yourself because you know what you are protecting and how to protect it. But sometimes you just need to go easier with yourself. And that's kind of the biggest strength that you could possibly have, is being kinder to yourself. Treating yourself with peace, giving yourself the ability to play even when times are tough, because things are only ever going to be as serious as you make them out to be, because it's all a matter of perspective. That's why people who are potentially more naive than you are sometimes succeeding more, because they're not taking life so seriously. They know that they're confident. They know that they're capable of achieving anything that they want, and they enjoy the conflict. They thrive in the competition and under the pressure because it really doesn't put pressure on them. And you need to learn how to do that. And the Magician card is falling out. You have all the resources in your bag to get whatever it is that you are striving for. You just need to learn to trust yourself. And instead of taking everything so seriously, you do need to become more naive. Not in a bad way and not in a delusional way. And I know that some people are going to come at me for that. But in a way that just lets you relax. That lets you breathe regardless of what is happening around you. That lets you just put less pressure on yourself and become your own peace. You have all the resources to make it in whatever field you're trying to get into, in whatever relationship you're trying to get into, in whatever physical issues you are struggling with that you want to get out of, but you just keep putting too much pressure on yourself to get it done. You don't have to be so cutthroat with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. And honestly, everything is already in the bag. It's just a matter of enjoying more and struggling less. Easier said than done, but it all starts up here. Intercept the negative thoughts, intercept the pressure, and whenever you feel like you are doing too much, whenever you feel like there's too much pressure, too much intensity in your world, remember that none of this is real. Not in an existential way, but in a way that Dove Cameron's tattoo reminds us of, that none of this is real, and you create your reality based on that. You create what it is that is going to have power over you. You create your own worth. And you deserve to be worthy. You deserve to understand that you are capable, that you are smart, that you are kind, and that you deserve to enjoy more. The only person who's keeping you in struggle mode is you.